Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. This is Dr. Sarah, your Limitless Liberator, and I'm here with the lovely Jessica Corinne, and she is the relationship expert, host. Well, she's my co-host here. She's an author speaker. And we're here to do, an early edition of Ladies Night with the cookies, cocktails, and convos, because we have something amazing coming for you today. And I'm just excited about this because you know what? It's about having friends. It's about bringing more people and having a great conversation, different perspectives. So make sure that y'all have y'all cocktails ready, because you are in for a treat, perhaps a fight too. We don't know, but we will see. And I'm going to have everyone introduce themselves. So I'm going to start bringing them in. But before I do that, just want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you for choosing to be with us today. Thank you for your time, because that is the greatest asset. And let us know who you are, where you're coming from, where you're from, and how was your day today. 1 in the comment section if it was a great day. 2 in the comment section if it was a so-so day. Why was it so-so? What you're going to do to turn that 2 into a 1 tomorrow. And because at the time of this recording, we're going into the weekend. So, hey, hopefully you're like, look, forget whatever happened today. Whether it was a 3 or 5, you're like, look, the weekend is my time. So hopefully you are making sure that you're having self-care, self-love, because self-love is the best love. Self-care is where it's at. And hey, just thank you again. We hope that you will gain something from this conversation and this experience, as well as making sure that you too can always join in the conversation. Put the comments in the comment section and go ahead and tag, like, and share, because sharing is caring. You never know, you just might be able to help someone become limitless in the process. So Jess, hey girl.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. You look great in your sparkles. Is that the silver?
So do you. I see I said sparkles come through. With
a sparkly today. Because we have some sparkly guests, that's going to help and join us in with this conversation. So I'm going to start adding them. Are you ready for them?
Yes, I am.
All right, everybody. We hope that you're ready too. I'm going to start checking the comments as well. But without further ado, let me go ahead and bring them on. These are great peoples because, first of all, one of them I've known for 30, 40, however many years. I lost count. But she is, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. The other one, we're bringing in a male perspective, because today we're talking about part 2 of Women Don't You Dare Change Yourself for No Man, part 2.
Yes.
Part 2.
Yes.
And definitely want to make sure that we brought in a male perspective, because it's one thing for us as women, we always come together and we give advice about, what men should be talking and sharing and giving advice about. So we just wanted to make sure that, I brought in a relationship expert as well. I was going to have him to introduce himself as well. So as they're coming along, let's see. Let's get their cameras on. Let's get their mics on. And hey, Sherrod.
Hey, can you? Right. Yeah, you said my name right. But can you see me? Because I'm looking at my screen and I don't see me. So I'm like,
we don't see you.
We can't see you.
We're going to work that out. So I'm going to ask you to start your video.
Okay, I'm trying. Let me see. Nope, that's not.
Yeah, there you go. Awesomeness.
Oh, hey.
What's up? Oh, he's dedicated. He's dedicated because he's driving, okay?
Oh yeah, I'm like, yo, look, I had a long 2 days. I just finished editing my short film. I just posted it. I was working out this morning. I had to do a bunch of. I had a long couple of days. So hey, you get in when you fit in. So hey, I'm here.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the rest of the clan here, who you are, what you do, and please go ahead. You got the floor. Who are you? What you do?
Man, what do I do, man? So my name is Sherrod Smallman. I'm an actor, writer, director, editor, singer. What else I do? I'm sure it's like something else I do. I'm missing, but I don't really. Oh, I'm a poet, performer. Yeah. So, and also, I was religion major, anthropology minor at Langley University. So that's what I do. And I give advice at times from a male, I don't like to say male perspective. What I try to do is stay as objective as I possibly can and not try to push too much gender. But of course, it's going to have some male characteristics attached to it. But what I try to do is be as objective as possible. I feel like that's the best way to give advice I don't like giving advice to the point where you feel like you're projecting what you would wish that person do instead of what you know they need to do. So, but yeah, that's me. That's
Okay,
me.
cool, cool. Thank you so much for your time and spending it with us gals here. So hopefully
No
there should be
problem.
no pressure for
Yeah.
you.
Hey, listen, hey, let me tell y'all something. I was like, should I wear a blazer and a shirt because y'all be coming on this show looking like y'all going to a ball, and I'm like, yo, they'll get the like Night Rider version of me tonight. Cause I was like, look, I had a long day. I got the black jacket on, got my black car. I'm like, look, it's all black everything tonight. I'm gonna get the cool, good-looking, suave 1980s Michael Knight type thing going on tonight.
It's
So,
all
but
good.
y'all look great.
Thank you so
y'all,
much.
Thank you.
y'all
All
look great.
good. Thank
Thank
you.
No
you.
problem. No
And hey,
problem.
we're
No
bringing
problem.
in my other great co-host. She's one of the original OGs. That when I first started doing the cookies, cocktails, and convos.
Oh, wow.
And listen, I want to go ahead and bring her on. Her name is Sherrod Williams. So Sherrod, you got the floor. Who are you? What do you do? What you bring to the table today? And thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Dr. Sarah. Yes, I am Sherrod. So many people call me Coach CC. You know what? When I'm in these streets, I'm CC, I'm Simone, I'm Sharia, I'm Tria, I'm Mom. I wear many hats, right? And so I am a life coach and I am a counselor amongst many other things. But, my main job is to basically help women to understand what true happiness is and how to manifest and get what they want and deserve so that they can experience a life of living outrageous joy. So that's in a nutshell. When we start talking, you're going to understand a little bit more about who I am and where I come from. Of course, I hail from the great city of Philadelphia. I am in Atlanta right now. So I have on my little, peach to signify that I've been adopted into the family of Georgia Peaches. Yes, I am juicy. And so this is going to be a juicy conversation. So I'm excited about it.
Juicy. Juicy.
I'm quite the character, but thank you so much.
And without the cocktails too, because you know what I have to say, I'm not going to go into the detail of how Sherrod and I have been and how we met and all of that.
It's lies.
He started, started me on the bottle. I'm not going to talk about all that because that's not what we're here.
No, we're not going to talk about how you started me. You started me on.
Thank you very much.
So
y'all got stories. Y'all got stories.
I had to pass it towards to someone. You got it. The gift that keeps on giving.
Y'all got stories.
Cookies, cocktails, and combos. But without further ado, I love that, Jessica. Thank you for going ahead and put me on blast. Somewhere I got you off camera. I know where you live.
Broad Street, all on Broad Street. All on Broad Street.
First of all, again, thank you everybody for tuning in. And we're going to go right into it. And we want to talk about part 2. So if you can go back to the replay. We talked about this in regards to, women, don't you dare change yourself for no man. And so, ladies and I know Sherrod got something to say. So the ladies and myself, we were talking about that, and we had different perspectives because it started off. Just to kind of recap what happened, I was talking to my one of my trainers, and we were talking about physicality, women's bodies, and things like that. And so the long short of it was, I had said, hey, he asked me if I ever thought about getting a Brazilian butt lift. And I said, no, that's why I'm here at this gym. However, I did think about one time about getting, having breast augmentation. I never did it. And I didn't go that far into thought, but I did think about it. And so he was just like, oh, well, just to let you know, and this is where it just, between Jessica and I, when we were talking about this, it was like, okay, what in the world? And this is exactly why we have Sherrod on the show as well as Coach Cece, because, this is the stuff that they do. And this is the stuff that they talk about with the people that they work with. So I was like, he said pretty much, he was like, yeah, we as men would rather you all stay natural. It's like, whatever and however you look naturally, it's fine with us. And I said, well, that's some stuff. Because my North Philly was coming out. I was like, that's some stuff because what we see on social media, on TV, what have we been seeing in terms of guys seemingly, like having their tails, their tongue hanging out you know, and actually bringing on women who have gotten so much extensive work on themselves. And then the nerve of you talking to my trainer, talking about, you know, the nerve of you talking about y'all men, talking about
audacity.
About that. Yeah, it was the audacity.
Audacity.
You know, say this stuff because I was really upset because I'm the one that talked to these women when they're depressed, when they're sad, because they have low self-esteem, because they have insecurity issues, because of the fact that they're trying to, you know, make the men happy in their lives, thinking that they have to change themselves physically to get and keep a man. And so to hear that, no, that's not how men, and he, you know, I didn't go around surveying everybody, every single guy, but he made it seem like, you know, pretty much most men are like, look, y'all rather for women to be natural. But at the same time, he didn't mind me when I said, yeah, I was thinking about getting, you know, bigger breasts. He's like, yeah, you look great. If you know, you were two cup size more, but I like you just the way you are. I said, no, we're not having no out. Don't do that.
What?
Don't
He said that to you?
Enhance.
He said,
oh, you love me the way I am. Nah, man.
He said that to you?
Well, yeah, that's fine. I was okay with it, but I wasn't okay to the point that now that's why we're having this conversation to find out if, in fact, you know, what are men thinking? What is it that y'all want from us women? You know, and before Sherrod, go there, Sherrod, before you even go there, what I want to do is I want to talk to Coach Cece real quick, because definitely, Sherrod, you're going to have the floor, because, you know, us ladies, those who watch. So I just want you to hear it from each person's, you know, each woman's view that's on this panel right now. And then please, you know, you can go ahead.
Of course.
Thank you so much. All right, Coach CC, what are your thoughts to that? I know we were dialoguing.
Definitely listen.
Okay. You and I were dialoguing before, Coach CC, because I wanted you to be on the show. And then it's like, but you were busy. And then I found myself talking to you for like a good hour. And I'm like, dang, we should have been recording this. So here, you have the floor, honey. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, so thank you so much again for having me. So I just want to say I got enough you know, girls to share. So if you want one or two of mine, I still have plenty. But yeah, so you and I were talking, and it was always an amazing conversation, and we'd be like, yeah, we should record this. And I was just saying how, you know, I'm perplexed these days too, right? You know, so we talk to men. I have a lot of male friends. I have had male friends since I was like 12 or 13. And I have a good 5 good male friends. I'm talking about 30 plus year relationships, some single, some married, platonic, of course. And, you know, it's just been phenomenal. And, you know, I always say to myself, I don't know how women, you know, don't have male friends. I mean, like, where are you getting your information from? So I harvest a lot of that information and I carry it over to my women, to my lady friends. You know, we like to say that men are simple, and sometimes they kind of are, right? You know, act like a lady, think like a man. But what I found perplexing these days is that, you know, some men that whom are married or in relationships, then they could be lying. And this could be the truth. They could be lying. But when they talk about their relationships with women, their wives, or, you know, significant others, it seems to me as if they're bored in the bedroom, right? And yet, so then they are looking out on the outside, right? They see her down the street. Oh, you should have bigger boobs. Oh, I love those Brazilian butt lifts and things like that. But it's not that they're bored by like choice. I mean, it's like they want to be bored. It's like they want their wives to be blah. But yet they say, I want a lady in the street and a freak in the bed. Right. But when I look and I hear the conversations, it's just like they're married 10, 20, 30 years. And it's just like, seems to me now, like I said, they could be lying, that it's just like mundane and boring. And I'm contemplating on whether I want to get married or not, because I don't want a sex life like that. I'm just saying, right? Because that's just not me. And it's just like, I've been in some relationships where I've brought me to the forefront, like it's all of me, okay? And it's like they're scared and they run away from it. But you say you want it, you know? Yeah. But it's just like, oh, it's good enough for, you know, that chick out there or the stripper or whatever, but oh no, not for my queen. I don't know. So I'm confused, because to me, because this is what they're saying. They want that lady in the street and that freak in the bed. And so you would think that this man wants that person who brings it, who loves, you know, sex his equal just as much as he does and all this other stuff. But I'm not really finding it. And so it's just like, I actually had to ask a male friend of mine, was it 2 days ago? We never had a conversation because he had to call me back. But I wanted to know, like, you know, what happens in a relationship of longevity? Does it get boring? Now, I was married for 15 years, so I could really answer that question. But the thing is, you know, what we gonna do about it? Because I'm gonna follow my husband one day, and that's not gonna work. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's just not. So I do appreciate this question, because I don't think that we as women need to change who we are. And I just feel like I definitely want to get in a long-term relationship or a marriage when I have to change that part of me, because I'm 40 something years old. You know what I mean? And so the older we get, the crazier it is. And I'm not curbing my appetite, you know what I mean, for no man. I'm not doing that for no man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, I think it's about being honest and being transparent and really communicating, you know, where you are in a relationship on every single aspect of it. Like, if that's what you like, that's fine. If this is not who you are, I mean, that's absolutely fine. But I refuse, you know what I mean, to change it anyway. I'm not, hey, I ain't getting a Brazilian butt lift. I'm not getting a breast reduction. I'm not, you know, I don't put on makeup for a guy. I don't do these things for any man. I do them for myself. And, you know, I'm just going to be, you know, what time is it? Is it after dark? Maybe not, but I don't care. I'm not going to curb my sexual desires for a man either. I get what I want. Selfish? Hey, call me selfish. I mean, I know who I am, and I know that he's going to be completely 100% satisfied, so I ain't worried about that. But what I'm saying is, I am going to get what I need. And so that's for me. I do things for me. So I need to make sure that I do that for me too. And I need a suitable partner. And I just need people to be honest, because you guys say one thing and then you say another. And I'm just confused. I think men are truly from Mars and women, we from Earth. So that's all I got to say.
Say it again for the people in the back, Sharia. Come through.
Like, look, takes a drop.
Me and you think just alike.
Are you a Taurus? No.
Awesome. I just had to say that off the rip. Awesome.
You're on mute, Miss Dr. Sarah. You're on mute.
Thank you. So, good looking at Well, I was going to say, first of all, thank you so much, Coach CC. And Sherrod, we're coming right to you. Okay, we got you. We just want to now hear from you, Jessica, in regards to just recapping based on this conversation. And before going there, just really want to give a thanks to everyone who's tuning in. We have Tanya, Trina, Alondra. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Really appreciate you and your time. Whether you're watching it now live with us or watching it on the replay, please share your thoughts. I put in the comment section so that you can elaborate. What do you think about women changing themselves for men? Because the bottom line, from where I come from, I'm saying don't. And I will give my commentary as to why. But I would love to have Jessica, the lovely Jessica Corinne. She didn't do it today. Wait a minute. You didn't do it today.
I did. Oh, the shimmy now.
You didn't do the shimmy. You got the sequin on. Why are you not shimmying here? So,
Hey.
Hey, go ahead, Jessica. Go ahead and let us know. What are your thoughts in regards to this conversation?
Well, you know what? I think Sharia done summed it up for me. But yeah, I completely agree. Don't ever change yourself for someone. I think the end, it depends on the person. And I think Sharia did a great job of breaking this concept down. It's about who you are and what you want. And for me as a woman, I have been through enough dead-end relationships, married, divorced, all those situations to know at this juncture in my life what I actually want. To answer the general question, no, you should not change yourself for a man, woman, child, dog, cat. You should not change yourself for anybody, but I think that the pressure that we're seeing in our society is that we are challenged as women to fit into a certain mold instead of coming into who we are. There are not enough messages out there to tell women, hey, be happy and comfortable with who you are, and if you want to upgrade your look for you, do it. I think there are too many messages out there saying, oh, you need to upgrade yourself to get you 10 ways to get the guy, 5 ways to keep the guy, 20 ways to keep the guy. And then, it's just too much. We have to learn about ways to keep ourselves, to get back to who we are. And I don't want to talk too much about this because we have guests on. So I think I said a mouthful the last show. I'll just sum it up by saying, no, do not change yourself from anybody, but know who you are in specific, male, female, but specifically for the women. There are a lot of messages out there telling us to tailor ourselves for a man. Now, me personally, I do things for me. When I'm glammed up, I do it for me. When I'm dressed down, I do it for me. But because I'm in a relationship, it's just that icing to the cake that I can do those things and it's appreciated by someone else. But in general, I had to get to a place after being married to someone for so long that just, start from scratch. What do you want? Who are you? And I promise you, my glow up did not happen until I found out who I was. And so not changing for anybody started with me. So I think it's a thing that starts within yourself. So that's it.
All right. Another pencil drop, mic drop, cocktail drop. I mean, that was good. That was really good. And listen, everybody. So thank you, Jessica. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Cocktails here. Why do I always want to start with the cocktails? Cookies, cocktails, and combos. I know that's saying something, right? That's telling. My history with drinking runs deep, doesn't it, Sharia? The shade, the love shade over here. I love it. But apparently, hey, I'm not the best example because I made Jessica a slouch. So it's like
and look at me now. I'm joking.
Listen, you guys to have fun. This is the weekend, at least at this time of this recording. So look, you got to make sure that you have fun, and it always comes back to you loving yourself, you appreciating you, so that you can attract the very thing that you are looking for, because it starts with home. What's home is yourself. So this is Dr. Sarah Renee, your Limitless Liberator, and we're having Cookies, Cocktails, and Convos, Ladies Edition, where we're doing a part deuce in regards to women. Do not change yourselves for no man. We're already talking about why, we're giving our perspectives, and now we're going to bring on Mr. Sherrod to go ahead and to share about his perspective from a man's perspective with regards to women having to change themselves, or, look, this what we just shared. So Sherrod, you got the floor, man. What do y'all men want? And should women change themselves for men? You got it.
Oh, okay. So now I'm expecting some interaction with you young ladies. And I will not presume to talk for all men. What I'm going to give you is a generalization of how the male mind works, and what the male is, the position the male is in regards to how he pursues women and the women he can potentially get, and his confidence in either or situation. So here we go. Y'all ready? Mm-hmm. Y'all ready? You sure? Okay. So know this, and this is a problem, this issue I see with women all the time. And it bothers me because after millennial, I don't understand why women don't get this. Well, maybe I think in Africa, a lot of, that's another story. But here in America is the issue that I see with women. I think it's because we live in a patriarchal society, and religion backs that patriarchal society up, which puts women in a powerless position. And this is why they're in a powerless position, because men are horrified of y'all. That's one. They're horrified of you. The average man cannot get 90% of the women he comes in contact with. He will not attract. He knows this. Why do you think guys go out their way to get cars and houses and stuff? Guys are lazy. Guys are initially lazy. They don't want that stuff. but they know you do. And they know it represents a certain aspect of what attracts a woman in this particular society, or what a woman thinks that she wants will give her safety and security. That's one. So two, in knowing that they cannot attract most of y'all, if they can attract one of you, it's like a gold mine. If they can get at least 2 to 3 of y'all just say they okay, it's a gold mine. So once they have y'all, they have to act out every single thing that they think the women in their fantasies would do, because you're a part of that fantasy now. That's why they're asking you to do stuff. How come you can't get a Brazilian, blah, blah, blah? Really? 2 seconds ago, you ain't had nobody. But now you want me to get a Brazilian butt lift? Why? Because they're sold on a certain aspect of what a woman is, and they can't get that woman. So they try to mold and blend and mend up the woman that they do have to fit this certain criteria, whatever. But it's also because it's the same thing that led them to you and led you to them is what's motivating that, and it's status. Look at my girl's butt. I know these guys want my girl. I know most guys think like this, even if it's subconsciously. So it's not that they want you to change for their sake. They want you to change for their sake in order for them to justify their pursuit of you and their attraction of you. It's all status based. It's all ego based. They don't really care. Guys don't really care. In their hearts of hearts, they do not care. Guys are just happy. Guys are just happy to find somebody that likes them. Period. The average guy. And it's only like 1 or 2% of men who are like, I got my pick of the litter. Ain't that many men like that. Women, they got their pick of everything. Guys bend over backwards for y'all. You got to understand your power in this situation. You're not powerless in this situation. And I think a lot of times when I hear women talk, they present themselves as, oh man, I feel so bad because these guys making this stuff. No. All you have to do is say, okay. That's all you have to do is say, okay. So guess what's going to happen? I'm going to leave. And I hope you find that. The first thing the guy's going to do is like, babe, please, babe, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Babe, what do I need to do? Well, and that's when you exert your power. Because one, guys will always bend to the point of almost breaking if they know they're going to lose you. They're going to do that. You're not replaceable. And they know that. And not only that, they know you're not replaceable. And they know they probably can't find anybody else like you if they're really committed to you. It's impossible. Most guys are not like that. They don't have to pick a litter. Even in a well-populated area when women outnumber men, ain't happening. It's just not happening. Unless they have a status that they think can push them towards having multiple women, they know they're not going to get a committed woman who is going to be a down for them no matter what and keep them. It's just not happening for most guys. You got to understand, I tell women all the time, y'all hold the world in your hand. Guys literally has shaped the world to get you. Wars have been started over women. I don't understand why does it sink into it's y'all have power in these situations. So when the guy says, hey, why did you do this, or you think about this? I'm like, I'm thinking about leaving. How about that? I think you need to find all you have to do is say to the guy, I think you need to find what you're looking for. He leaves, I guarantee he's gonna call you. Ain't like that's a mystery. Y'all know that. It's not a mystery. Stop thinking that y'all are, and especially I think sometimes women are so drawn to statuses, are told, because I think they're motivated through status for security purposes. The idea of being secure, I was like, scratch it off. Scratch it off. If you're a woman, you have power, you're intelligent, you're smart, all that other good stuff, blah, 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 blah. Don't be insecure on top of that stuff. What kind of sense does that make? Put yourself in a position to say, I can leave this thing anytime I want to. But also put yourself in a position to say, if this guy is going to value me, he's going to value me flat out. All that other stuff, please, guys are going to bend towards you. They always have. History has shown that. History has shown that. Whether there have been queens who have ruled, guys have been to it, whether they were getting water from the well or getting water from the river, guys have been to that. Trust me, y'all got this. And the thing is, the more guys respect women who stand up for themselves and say, I'm not going to take that. I'm good. Because you set the parameter, you set the line, your line of respect, and you don't wager from that, guys are going to respect it. They might not like it, they're going to respect it, and they can walk away. They always come back. Period. It's just a part of our nature. So what I'm saying to y'all is all this, changing and what guys want. Guys just really want a woman who is confident in themselves, who they can depend on, and because in the back of their mind they got anybody. To be honest, most guys are like that. Now, if you get somebody who is above average, you in a sense of with self-esteem, the ability to be confident no matter what situation they've put themselves in, no matter what adversity they have, you find a guy like that who strives regardless, and you find a guy like that, yeah, they're going to have their pick, but they don't want those women. They want the women who they can sit at home with and just be. Yeah, they talk about their problems, yeah, they talk about issues, but they just want to be with somebody. That guy, the above average guy, they don't care about any of that stuff. They just want to be with somebody. They just want to be because they already have the hustle and bustle in their life. Like me, I got hustle and bustle all day, every day. And one thing I always say is like, I just want to be. I just want to be. I just want to go home, have some laughs, talk about my day, chill, we go on a trip. That's what guys who are thinking like on another level think. They're always hustling. They just want a home to go home to. They don't need the fantasy. And that's so understand what you're looking for, understand what you're attracting, understand, have a solid image within yourself to not bend towards anything that is going to either break you or change you. And that's guaranteed that the world and guys are going to change around you because it's just their nature. It's just their nature. And you're going to get that guy who does not care about any of those things. None of that stuff matters to guys when you set your line because they got to respect it or they can leave. And nobody wants to leave. Guys can talk all that stuff. They never want to leave. So, any questions?
Any questions, everybody? First of all, that was something else. Like everything that you said. So what I did was, first of all, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Trina, Janae, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate your time. This is Cookie Cocktails and Convos with Dr. Sarah Renee, the Limitless Liberator. And I have, friends here that we're discussing about women. Don't you dare change for no man. This is the ladies editions part 2. And Sherrod, you just dropped so many points to the point that what I had to do, I had to put this on gallery vision. So meaning that while we have this on Zoom and it's going to Facebook, anytime a person is speaking, then it usually directs it to the person that you can see on the screen, right?
Yeah.
I decided to put on gallery because my mama had always said that my emotions, my thoughts always show on my face. So I wanted people to kind of see the reactions of everyone's faces.
That's funny.
Especially my own. Funny. I'm looking at Sharia. I'm looking at Jessica. Y'all got some poker faces. I don't. So they were saying, it was like, my God, because it made me think of a situation. Let's, and I'm going to go down the line here. And please, everybody that's tuned in, y'all can put your comments in the comment section too. I will definitely read them. It made me think of someone. Let's call him Narc. And
Narc.
Let's call him Narc. And Narc, the things that you said made me think about how when you mentioned about men wanting women for status, for their own status. And I remember feeling like I was like a prop, like I was just something that made him feel great about himself because he knew that when we would go into a space or go into a place that they're watching, oh my gosh, it's like you're the next Beyonce, it's like he was just on top of the world because of how I was with him, but it was about him. So the thing that came for me that resonated was the fact that it seems like in any situation or instance, it always comes back to the person, meaning that he had his esteem stuff going on. He needed that. He needed a prop. He needed a trophy to make him feel better about himself so that he can show off to everybody else for them to make him feel great. And then for me, looking for, let's say for the point, looking for love, maybe in all the wrong places, but looking for love, looking for adoration, looking for validation, looking for affirmation, because, hey, I'm all dressed up, I'm looking great, I know I look hot, and yet still not feeling like I'm important enough because it's just me being a trophy or a prize. And so what I got out of this whole situation was, you know what, when everyone's grown up, when everybody is sure and confident in themselves, when everybody in the party, in the equation, you know, really know who they are, there is no work to be done. It's just that you're going to shine out whatever it is that's going on within you, and you're going to attract the right people when you're that right person. You will attract the right person when you are that right person, versus trying to look all around the world for the right person. If you're not that person yet, then that means that the work is on yourself. So that got me. Jessica.
Well, can I say something towards that? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, would you be able to hold your point? I just want to make sure that everybody.
Yeah, I got it. Good.
Then you just make sure that
you're
back with us. Jessica,
what's
your thoughts to what Sherrod just shared?
I was on mute for some reason. You know, I'm still collecting them. But what I will say is that I do agree with the point of, you know, something that resonated with me that Sherrod, you said, was that a lot of men are just looking for someone to come home to. They're really looking for a peace point. And I don't think that that's talked about enough. I think that sometimes we can highlight some of the other materialistic things or physical things that men do want from women. But in my experience, you know, I've heard a lot of guys, and I don't, you know, maybe I'm telling myself, but I don't have a lot of friends, but I do sometimes tend to have more male interactions than female interactions. And I do hear a lot of stories, and I do hear a lot of things. And sometimes, you know, when they're going through stuff, they'll tell me, you know, look, I just want to come home to some peace. You know, I just want to come home. You know, the other things, like I said earlier, are just like icing on the cake, you know, but in reference to wanting to come home to some peace, wanting to travel, wanting to be debt free, wanting to just have that person. I think that some women feel like, I don't want to get myself in trouble. I think some women feel like because of the things that are constantly put before them, that, yeah, you know, we're hearing that men want peace, but on the other end, it's like, it seems like, no, men want other stuff. And these other things are more important than having a homie lover friend to come home to. That's a whole nother topic. But, you know, I do agree with the aspect of, yes, in my experience and talking to people and in my own personal experience, I do see a lot of guys, you know, they will say that all the time. They don't want the nag. They don't want the person that's always like, you know, hype, ghetto, crass. They want somebody who they can just come home to and, you know, have that peace. But, you know, oh, and one more thing, because I think I'm getting myself in trouble by saying this too, Sherrod, though. But I say that because I think women are reactionary in a lot of ways. But sometimes, I can't speak for all women, but some women feel like, well, if you ain't acting a certain way to make me act this way, you know, two wrongs don't make a right. But I think, you know, each person have to take personal responsibility, because the men are looking for peace and the women are looking for peace too. But based off of the type of relationship that you're in and the reaction that you get from your partner, you might have somebody who's, you know, they're beefing, they're mad, they're going at odds. So they're not going to get what they want. They're not going to get that peace, because you might have somebody who's jealous. You might have some. So it's a lot of dynamics to that. But I do completely agree with you when we don't talk about it enough, that a lot of men, you know, grassroots, like you said, in general, men really are just looking for some peace to come home to.
Yeah.
So, yes. Thank you so much, Jess. And I want to give the chance for Sharia to share, and then Sherrod, you can come right back in. Thank you, Jess, for that. Okay. All right, no Sharia, Coach Cece, what's your thought?
Man, like, you know, you said a lot, Sherrod, so thank you so much. And I'm Jessica, thank you for, you know, going that route, because that was so nice. I'm going straight for the jugular. So No, it's not the juggler. It was several things that you mentioned, and we need to have about 10 shows for me to really encapsulate all. But you mentioned some keywords, and I had to write down. I got my little post-its or whatever. You said this flawed fantasy. You said words like, you know, we were sold, right? And then you said things like, you said some things, and all I wrote down in the middle was that's sad, right? And it's not sad because you guys are sad. It's sad because of what society has made all of this, right? There's a lot of pain. And all I heard in that was fear of rejection, right? I heard, we could just get one. I didn't hear the king shit, right? You kind of highlighted the queen shit, right? And we are powerful. But somewhere along the lines from the last maybe 400 years, I don't know, things have been skewed and we have not really tapped into our true identity, right? And so you said some things like, their status can push them to have multiple women, or but when we look at the status of the African American male, because that's who I tend to flock to, or just men in America, right? We got gay, we have incarcerated, we have homeless, jobless, so it has elevated those who maybe even just work part-time to now have multiple women, and they have really been riding this white horse with that. So now what used to have been what you're talking about maybe 40, 50 years ago, where you had this, working man and, you didn't have so many of these other things that are, clouding up the pot. That might have been true, but now it's kind of like, what choice do women have, right? And so we've taken on to the self-care and we've taken on to this self-love because it's awesome and it's necessary. And I so hope that men take on that same thing, because that is the key. We can get all the help we want, right? But if we don't have a counterpart, if we don't have the men whom we're seeking to be partners with doing the same thing and getting rid of those ideologies and those flawed fantasies and those, being sold, whoever sold you, and those things that are causing pain and fear of rejection, then who can we run to, right? So now you have women running to other women, you have women running to drugs and alcohol abuse, you have all this stuff, and then it's just all messed up, right? And so it's just so much in what you said, and I really appreciate it. But I think that as we continue as women to do the things that we need to do to now build ourselves up from some hurts and some pains of our childhood, of our past relationships, I really behoove the men to do the same and to have the courage enough and to know that they're kings, and this is what kings do, to go ahead and seek what they need so that they could be, that they too can choose. Like I want a man who knew that, oh, you lucky you got me. And not from a narcissistic or egotistic perspective, but from the same perspective as I would have. Like Dr. Sarah said, you got to know yourself, and then you'll attract what it is that you want. So I have a list of 51 things, 51, yes. And it didn't take long. I mean, I was just writing and I was just being, really, really honest with myself, from, the kind of moans I want him to make, to if I want him to bake cookies, to if I want him to be a leader in the community. I mean, I got down to the nitty gritty in this. And when I step back and I look at that list, I say, dang, that sounds like me. And it should, right? And so now when I look at that list, for all those things that I am not, I know what I need to work on, because I'm going to attract light, right? And so that's all I can do. And I have no doubt that I will, right? But because I have a heart for people, I don't want just a prize. I want all my lady queens to have a prize. And in order for all of us to be successful, then we need these men to know who they are, to know their true identity, and to get their lives together so that they can be who we need them to be. That's all I wanted to say.
I feel like a queen. I had to show off because you said that you are here about all of us, all the queens out here to be queens and to be treated and appreciated as queens, as we, as queens, see ourselves as queens, versus waiting for someone to validate and to affirm and say that we are. We're supposed to already be that. And I don't ever use the word supposed to. What I'm saying is that we are, and now it needs to reflect outward so that now we attract those kings. Absolutely. That not the boys, not the little princes, that's, you know, that's kings in waiting or in training or whatever. But it's like, you know, you have to be that already for you to now have that which you desire. So yeah, when you said that, I said, okay, I gotta put it on. So Sherrod, what I would love for you to do, Sherrod, is go ahead and give your commentary based on what we shared. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Dr. Sarah Renee, your Limitless Liberator, and we're having cookies, cocktails, and convos, Ladies Night Edition, where we're talking about women. Don't you dare change yourself for no man, part 2. I have my friend, Jessica Corinne. She is the relationship expert. She is the speaker and author as well. And she didn't do her shimmy. I was waiting for that. So, you know, okay. But you got Coach Cece, who is also, you know, so many hats that she wears. She is also a relationship expert. She is a biblical counselor. She can correct me, life coach. So make sure before we end, I want them to know how to reach everybody, you know, if they want to reach out to you and have more of a conversation. Then we have Sherrod, who wears many hats as well. He's the, you know, the lone man of this whole group and collective, but he was holding it down, sharing the points. And he is an actor, he's a singer, you name it, but he also has a heart for talking about relationships. And that's exactly what I brought him on to have this conversation. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your time. It is your greatest asset that you're giving to us, and we do appreciate that. You put your comments in the comment section as well, and let us know if there's anything that you would like for us to talk about, so that we can make sure that we give you the great information that you are looking for. And please, it's no holds barred. Go ahead and share what your thoughts are, and make sure you share this out as well, because sharing is caring, and you never know, you just may be able to help someone become limitless in the process. So as we're wrapping up our time, Sherrod, you can go ahead and share. And what I would like for you to do, sir, first of all, thank you. Thank you for making the time. Because look, you're in your car, you made time for this conversation to be with us. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Please go ahead and share your comments. And if you can give a tip or two, you know, like what would be a tip or two that you can give out to the men, to the women, you know, just in your own words, but please, you got the floor. And then each one of us, Coach Cece, you're next. Jessica, you'll go ahead and share a point, and then I'll wrap it up, and then that's it. Go ahead, Sherrod, you got the floor. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right, so one, thank you for having me on your show. I enjoyed it. I enjoy y'all. I enjoy your comments. It's good to have good conversation with men and women, because a lot of times that don't happen. It's just men who talk, and it's just women who talk. And I think a lot of times we don't take the time to like talk and listen. And that's a scary thing, I think, for that's a scary thing for us to do, because it's not something we do usually. And also it's a vulnerability that's attached to that, and a judgment that can be possibly attached to that, that a lot of times men are scared of. You know, they don't want to look weak. They don't want to look undesirable. And a lot of times, you know, their guards are up a little bit more than what people think they are, because they want to be liked. I think the idea of being liked and being rejected, which also is a big part of what happens when they look for status. You know, they're not trying to just get status. They're trying to fight off and keep off rejection. And nothing is more painful for a guy than rejection of a woman, especially a woman they want. But here's the thing. So let me go through everybody's points. So let's go through the doc's point. First point that was made, status. The guy was looking for status, and the thing is, like, it's a weird thing for guys. At the end of the day, you know, somebody who just wants status is lacking something else. And the thing is, a lot of times guys look for status. You know, I hear women talk about it all the time. Like, guys just want a trophy, and I've dated women who would be considered like trophies. I don't care. Like, to me, I don't know how you look until you open your mouth. That's one. I don't know how you really look until you open your mouth. And I've dated women who leaned on their physicality because that was their only requirement to do so. Like guys didn't really ask their opinion. Guys didn't really want to know what they thought. And a lot of times because guys are so, they got a butt, they got this, they got boobs, they got shape, they got nice complexion, nice dark complexion, they're tall, all this stuff matter because it's all this physicality. Guys who respond, I respond to physical. I do. I respond to physical. But it's a very jolting thing. It's like, oh, I wonder what she thinks. Oh, I wonder who she is. Because I can't deal with guys in the long run cannot deal with somebody if they can't feel like they have a connection. They'll deal with somebody who's attracted to a certain extent, but after a while, it's like, oh, I don't even want to deal with that because it becomes such a drag, and then they start realizing it's really not about the looks. But that's an immature mind who just leans on looks. It's all about status, how you come into the party. And it's like, and for me, and for a lot of mature men, a lot of men I know, it's just like, I don't really care. It's just when you and I are together, ain't nobody in this room but us. It's you. I like how you look. Yes, okay. People think you look good, but what if people thought you looked good and you had a horrible personality or terrible attitude? So guys in the long run, mature men, not just guys, mature men, they're looking for something a little bit different. Look for mature men. Stop trying to make the boys men. That's not your job. I see that happen with women all the time. They're trying to make these guys be something, or they got potential. What are they showing you now? What are they doing right now? Where are they leading you right now? Where are they saying to you right now? Where are they at right now? Not just their potential, but the effort they put in their life on a day-to-day basis, because that's who you're going to marry. Not the person you hope they're going to be. And that's not even in status. Like, for me, I make it a point to tell people, like, this is what I'm going to be, and this is who I am, and this is what I'm doing. I show every single thing I do, every single day, not to show off, but to say, this is what you're getting yourself into. This is who I am. I'm on the grind. This is who I am. You're not marrying somebody who says, I want to be a movie star, and then they never do anything. They never make anything. This is who I am. This is what I'm doing. This is where I want to be. And I purposely show it. And that's what you got. You got to find somebody who has purpose, not somebody you put the purpose in. And a lot of times, if you're doing that, you got to ask yourself, why are you doing that with this person? So ask yourself real questions. Ask yourself real questions. Why am I with this person? I know who this person is. Yes, they have potential, but who are they? Why am I choosing this? Because at the end of the day, it's a choice. Regardless of how you feel, it's a choice. You're making a choice. Why are you making this choice? And the thing is, like, that goes into deeper introspection that most people, men and women, do not do. You got to be introspective. So to the point of, I was going to go to the point of,
what I would love to do, first of all, thank you. And then not to cut you off, but because we actually are at our time, it sounds like we're going to part 3. I smell a part 3 coming on. So
I'm down.
What we're going to do is we're just going to have to do a continuation. So if everyone's down, then we'll go ahead and put this together. But what I would love for us to do is, just for the sake of time, I'm going to have Coach CC or Jessica, are you good? Do you need to go? Because otherwise.
No, I'm fine. I took care of it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So Coach CC, you got the floor. Let us know what your final points are, tips, as well as how can they reach you? And Sherrod, I'll ask you as well, how can people reach you if they have more information, more questions, and want to reach out to you? Coach CC, you got it. Let us know your fabulous tips and how can they reach you? And thank you for you being here. Really appreciate you. Oh, you're on mute, girl.
Okay, I got to do it over. This has been an amazing conversation. Now I got some acting skills too, Mr. Sherrod, whatever.
Okay.
Hey, that's not one of my bigger hats, but it's like the feather in some hat. So
hey, exactly.
But yeah, so it just seems like we all have a lot of work to do. And with ourselves and with each other. I really appreciate forums and opportunities like this, because even if it's one male and 3 females and we're having this conversation and each of us are listening, then well done, right? like we want like 1 million women and like 1 million men and everybody's listening, then maybe we could have some really, really powerful change, but you know, one step at a time. And so I really appreciate it. And if you guys don't already know, I'm quite like, I'm a character, you know, I have the sense of humor or whatever, but anyway, the homie lover friend, every time I'm a homie lover friend, I get put into the friend zone. Like, what's up with that? You know what I mean? So, I mean, it just seems that, you know, I hear men say, I don't want that. I don't want that rah-rah and all of that. But for some odd reason, that's exactly who they have. And these are the ones they stay with. But so I've even contemplated being like that, but that's just not in I can't. So that's all I wanted to do. We'll save that for the next show. But again, I'm Coach Cece. My business is Life as You, Living in Fervent. Excellent. Fervent is a word which means passion.
All right. So let me see. Life in Fervent Excellence, being you. I think that's what it's called. So Coach CC, I got you. Y'all make sure that y'all check her out. She has her page on Facebook. It's Sharia Williams. Y'all can make sure that y'all follow her, friend her, and she has amazing content and information. She has her own Facebook group, Life as You. So y'all make sure that y'all follow her, and I'll put her information in the comment section as well, so that y'all can make sure y'all follow her. All right. So moving on to Miss Jessica Corinne, the relationship expert. What are your final thoughts? And please let everybody know how can they reach you. Thank you.
Final thoughts. Honestly, I want to put the focus on our, additional special guests. I think that the commentary was very important. The perspectives were important. Thank y'all so much for, I'm looking forward to this part 3, because it looks like, especially Sherrod looked like he was about to dive all the way in. And Sharia looked like she was like, all right, come on, I'm going to dive right back in on you. We might have to let them just have a little.
Look, I know it's up, right? How's it go? You nothing but.
You don't have to let them go. We're going to be sitting in the background like.
Yeah, right?
Like that meme. But no. You got to put something in your cup next time. You empty glass, you twirling. But anyway, final thoughts are, it looks like we have a lot of work to do on this topic. So many perspectives, so many experiences, and you can't really look at it from the surface. But I think the bottom line of what I gather from everything is you have to be yourself at all costs. And you cannot betray your own self. And if you do make any changes, make sure you're making them in truth. Because if you start to change for other people, you'll begin to resent the fact that you had to change yourself, and you'll resent the person that you're with, when sometimes, they didn't even ask you to do it in the first place. It's just a suggestion. They allude to it, and then we get mad at them. But we need to get mad at ourselves, because I've been in a string of bad relationships, and I had to put the onus on me and say, what am I doing? What do I need to do to change myself? So anyway, those are my final thoughts. I'm really excited about part 3, but this was good.
And thank you, because you always bring the shade as well as the heat. But I had to I'm a shade person too. So listen, where do they find you? So if they want to connect with you, how do they reach you?
Oh yes. They can go through my website, jessicacorinne.com. That's JESSICAKARIN.com. You can find all my social media, books, all of those services, everything.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Jessica Corinne. And Sherrod, I'm going to bring you back on one more time. Go ahead and let everybody know, how can they find you if they want to reach out to you and, want to dialogue. And this is not a bachelor law. We're not trying to hook him up. But if he is single, if he wants to, but if he's not, I don't want to put him out there. So go ahead, just let us know how to reach you.
I am dating. I'm single. But yeah, on Facebook. But also, you can reach me at Sherrod LS Photos to see my photography. And yeah, if you want to just contact me, you can reach me at those places.
Awesome. Awesome. Sherrod, thank you so much for tuning in with us. And
No
Diamond,
problem.
really appreciate you. Thank you again.
No problem. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Okay. Okay. And everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Kia, happy birthday to you. Thank you for tuning
Happy
in.
birthday.
So, Kia, thank you. And we had Blessed is Him. We thank you for tuning in as well. From Florida, Miss Dr. Melissa. You remember her, Jessica?
Yes. Barbosa.
So, and again, everybody, thank you so much for your time. My final thoughts is, it is about you getting to know who you are. And in doing that, just like from what everybody has shared, you take in what is called taking the meat and spit out the bones. Take in what resonates with you and discard what does not. And it really comes down to the final point. It is about positive self-esteem. It is about, having a great, healthy, positive self-image and positive self-esteem. So it is a matter of making sure that you love you first before anybody else do, so that nobody can outbeat you and you loving you. And trust and believe, you put that work in within yourself, you will start to attract the right people that you desire to have in your life, because they will just mirror you. So start with you. It's okay. It may sound like it's not easy, but it's not impossible. But you got to start somewhere, and the best place to start is with you. And if you need any support and services, I do leadership and personal and professional development. So you know how to reach me because you're already a part of this conversation. But you can always go to my website. It's DrSarah And look, if you want to have a conversation with me, I'll be more than happy to support you. I'm at your service. So everybody, thank you so much. Y'all make sure y'all look out for part 3 of Cookies, Cocktails, and Convos. And hey, make sure that y'all go ahead and tag, like, and share, because sharing is caring, and you never know, you just might be able to help someone become limitless in the process. This is Dr. Sarah, your Limitless Liberator, with the lovely Jessica Corinne, with Sherrod Smallman, with Coach CC Sharia Williams, and y'all have a great, great rest of y'all day on purpose. Thank you, everybody.